In response to some recent violence on Willow Street, one Waterbury church is inviting the community to come together. Thank you for joining us here for the Fox 61 News at 10 o'clock. I'm Tim Lammers. How about this? Tomorrow there will be a powerful show of unity and healing through a unique prayer drive-thru. You heard that right. Here's Fox 61's Valerie Moravi. She spoke with church leaders to find out how you can go get a blessing all without leaving your car.
The Waterbury community is invited to a very unique prayer drive-thru event. Instead of driving by, you can simply drive through and receive a prayer tailored just for you. The prayer drive-thru, led by the Yeshua House of Prayer on Willow Street in Waterbury, is a new ministry offering a fresh approach, designed to be more accessible and less intimidating for anyone seeking spiritual support.
Just as if we were Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's or anybody else, we're going to allow the people to drive their vehicle through, take their request for prayer, pray for them. If they want to stay with us, they can stay. If not, they can drive right on out the other way and go on about their wonderful Saturday.
Edward Jackson is the pastor at the Yeshua House of Prayer and has been serving the community for more than 2 decades. Jackson says their goal is to create a more visible and positive presence in the community following the ongoing crime in the area.
So many tragedies have happened, not many steps from where we're standing right now, and we're just looking for God to bless the people that come through. We believe that's why He placed us here, and since we've been here, we've already been making an impact.
Willow Street has witnessed several acts of violence in the past few months. On Friday, Waterbury police announced the arrest of Xavier Bishop in connection with the 185 Willow Street shooting last week. That is a month after 17-year-old Charisma Fox was shot and killed on the same street. The suspect was identified as 40-year-old Shamar Atwater. He was arrested early this month.
It's tragic. I was born and raised here in Waterbury. Our mission is evangelism, going out into the world, into the community, trying to be a help where we can.
While the church brings a fresh beginning and several services to the area, Jackson says their focus is to continue bringing compassion and hope to anyone carrying heavy burdens.
Yeshua is the name that's above.
And a drive-thru prayer will do just that.
What is your prayer request for today? Yeah. What would you like for us to pray for you and with you? And so they'll take the order down, they'll take the ticket out, hand it to him, and he'll begin to pray. We're going to be praying for families. We're going to be praying for the youth as they go to school, that they might have a prosperous and a healthy school year, as well as spiritual.
Now, the prayer drive-thru will take place Saturday from noon until 4. In Waterbury, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Valerie, thank you. We do have some new developments tonight in that ongoing Revolution Wind saga. State Attorney General William Tong is making a push to save the offshore wind farm after the Trump administration issued a stop work order nearly a week ago. Fox 61's Stefan Reels has the details.
This latest move from Tong adds to the ongoing legal battle against President Trump's memorandum that he signed when he went into office on January 20th this year. The Attorney General argues that this work order could harm Connecticut ratepayers' jobs and the region's energy grid.
It's a real concern and frankly, a dangerous precedent.
State Commissioner of the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, Katie Dykes, is weighing in on the future of the Revolution Wind project just off the coast of New England. Progress now stuck at an 80% completion from a stop work order issued 1 week ago, building on President Donald Trump's memorandum from January that halted on and offshore wind projects pending federal approval. But that move was quickly criticized, with project advocates worrying it could weaken energy production, make it unaffordable for families, and put more than 1,200 construction jobs at risk, with thousands more indirect jobs according to the project website. Among the critics, Union President Liz Schuler, who said in a statement in part, quote, "Now President Trump has issued an order requiring work on the project to stop, effectively kicking hundreds of union members out of jobs their families and communities were relying on. The administration should reverse course immediately and allow the Revolution Wind project to proceed."
We need to grow our energy supply and we need every electron. Offshore wind performs really well, especially during those heat waves or winter cold snaps when our grid becomes really vulnerable.
On Friday, Attorney General William Tong notified the U.S. District Court about the order It is expected to be heard on September 4th as part of an ongoing legal battle alongside 18 other attorneys general against the Trump administration. No word yet, though, on how long this is expected to take.
And I remain hopeful that if just these reliability and cost impacts can be well understood, as well as the impacted jobs here in our region, that hopefully a different outcome could be achieved.
And on Friday, we also saw U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal write to the Department of the Interior, where he demanded answers and records of why this work order was made against the Revolution Wind Project. In Hartford, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
Stephen, thanks. Well, we did see some showers throughout the early afternoon today, but it looks like we should have a beautiful holiday weekend ahead. So let's check in on the weather with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank.
Yeah, we're looking at blue skies from start to finish, low levels of humidity, and temperatures that'll be comfortable outside. So I think it's great for whatever you've got going on and planned. Here's a look back at some of the showers and storms that were out there earlier today. And believe it or not, we've got one little straggler out there. Take a look at it here in New London, but this is the last one in Griswold and also Ledyard. Temperatures are dropping fast, and it's going to be a chilly night ahead. 67 degrees right now in Hartford and 70 right now, but by daybreak, we are looking at temperatures that are going to be close to 50 and even in the 40s for some of our cooler spots. So maybe you open up the windows tonight and then wake up in the middle of the night and go, just going to close those. Obviously, it depends on your preference. Heading into the day tomorrow, we're looking at blue skies from start to finish. Temperatures will be below average for August, about 10 degrees below average, with high temperatures climbing into the lower to middle 70s. But we will see a slow warming trend through this weekend. Your full forecast is coming up. Tim.
A former Connecticut State Police sergeant has been arrested and charged with disorderly conduct after a confrontation outside his home in Groton. Let's show you some video of that confrontation back in July. Now, the man on the right is former Sergeant Brian Fahey with a phone in one hand and a gun in the other. He's confronting YouTuber Sean Paul Reyes, and at a different point in this video, Fahey spit on Reyes, who had parked a digital billboard outside Fahey's house. That billboard replayed an encounter between the two at State Police headquarters back in 2021. Reyes said he was confronting Fahey then over what Reyes claimed was overtime abuse. Fahey retired during the investigation. He's due in court next month. A Bridgeport man is facing new charges tied to the misuse of absentee ballots during the city's 2023 Democratic mayoral primary. 53-year-old Alfred Castillo was arrested again this week. He's now charged with improperly possessing ballots, failing to sign as an assister, and misrepresenting absentee voter eligibility. Castillo was previously charged in the same case and also faced similar charges back in 2019. He's due in Bridgeport Superior Court Tuesday. Well, a month-long battle is over. A New Haven student is returning home for now after being detained by immigration officials during a raid at a car wash last month. Well, a federal immigration judge granted bond yesterday to 18-year-old Estras Zabaleta Ramirez. That's according to Estras's attorney. While a date hasn't been set for his release, his attorney expects him to be back in the city and starting school very soon. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules has more from his school and community.
It was an emotional day for those who fought for 18-year-old Estras's freedom. His lawyer warns there's still a legal battle ahead of him.
We are so excited to welcome him back when he comes back to New Haven so he can go to school again. Estras is coming home. Mayor Justin Elliker, Estras's attorney Tina Colon-Williams, and Wilbur Cross High School officials came together to celebrate the release of Estras, an 18-year-old Wilbur Cross High School student. He was detained by ICE in June during a raid at a Southington car wash.
They were not looking for him specifically. He was not on the run from the law. He was not wanted for having committed a heinous crime. He was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Colon-Williams was emotional at the podium as she spoke about the journey to getting Estras released. He was taken to different detention facilities in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and eventually Louisiana. He was scheduled for deportation to his home country of Guatemala on Thursday.
When we were finally able to make contact with immigration and customs enforcement, we're able to implement some of the steps that he does have a right to. As a result of that, he was transferred back to Plymouth, Massachusetts, and ICE did decide to initiate full removal proceedings against him, but not yet outside of detention.
Williams was able to request a bond hearing for him once he returned to Massachusetts. Thursday's hearing ended with the teen being granted bond. Cologne Williams says she'll never forget the moment they told Estros he was coming home.
He was so relieved. I mean, imagine, you've been stuck in a detention facility. You don't know if or when you're going to be released.
One of his teachers, Kristen Mendoza, describes Estros as a kind and sweet person.
Just really a nice kid who he's the student you could partner with anyone and he would work with anyone. And we just miss him and can't wait to see him.
Some of his classmates and other supporters were also at the press conference showing their support. Dr. Madeline Negron, the superintendent of New Haven Public Schools, says the district is standing together and they will continue to protect their students.
We know the law, so we're very aware of what it takes for somebody to get inside of our doors. So when somebody shows up, we're going to follow our protocol and make sure that they have what they need to get access. And if you don't have what you need, you cannot come in. I am not giving you consent to come inside.
Estros's attorney says once he returns home, he will continue to attend immigration hearings and move forward with applications for legal status. In New Haven, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
The Corrections Supervisors Council released a statement after an inmate attacked a corrections officer this week in Cheshire. The council said staff members feel abandoned by the Department of Corrections. The union said the number of staff assaults in Connecticut prisons has doubled in the last 6 years, despite the inmate population dropping by 3,000 and despite 2 prisons closing. The council said every assault takes a toll on their collective well-being. Now, part of their statement reads, quote, "Staff feel abandoned by the Department of Corrections executive team, who must refocus their attention on the well-being of the men and women who keep these facilities safe. Without real investment in safety and staffing, correctional employees are being left to pay the price with their health, their livelihoods, and their peace of mind." Well, moving on, a Naugatuck father who's accused of killing his baby daughter rejected a plea offer yesterday, so his case will now go to trial. Christopher Francisquini was offered 40 years in prison with a minimum of 25 if he pleaded guilty to a murder charge. He's also charged with child endangerment. However, the 34-year-old rejected the offer and said he's innocent. Police said Francisquini dismembered his 11-month-old daughter Camilla back in November of 2022. After she was found by her mother, Francisquini was nowhere to be found for a while at least. Police did find and arrest him 2 weeks later in Waterbury, and he's been locked up ever since. If a jury finds Francisquini guilty, he could be sentenced to life in prison.